But yeah, you know, having said all that about retro Final Fantasy and modern Final Fantasy, and how you have your retro Final Fantasy fans and your modern Final Fantasy fans, and just because you're a retro Final Fantasy fan doesn't mean you can look at modern Final Fantasies and be like, game's bad because it's not this. Because those are two very specific, you know, Square is very specific with the change they're making in modern Final Fantasy. Having said that, here's what I would like to double down on. This game is also very much not a modern Final Fantasy. It's riding the line, man. It really is. It's riding the line. From the lack of party system, to the lack of classes, to the lack of RPG elements, it's riding the line. I mean, if you're a modern Final Fantasy fan and you're playing this and you're like, I don't feel like this fits in, I get it. Borrows a lot of Final Fantasy XII's best elements. Only the world and maybe the hunt system. We were talking about the map and how it's very close to 12, but that's literally it. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say it takes some of 12's best elements. I think it's fair to say it takes its map.
Thank you for sticking with us.
I think saying it takes some of 12's best elements is a bit of a stretch. It takes its map. And I guess hunt system, but that's a pretty standard RPG element. I don't know if that's... I mean, I don't know. I gotta see more of it, but if you want to say it takes hunts from 12, that's fair.
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods. What can I do you for?
Unwanted violets, if you have them. Though I'd gladly settle for learning what they are if you don't.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad.
Takes its fast travel system. No. No, that's just fast traveling. I mean, yeah, there's the blue tower things, but that's not like the crystals. The crystals you walk up to and you teleport, and there's a menu and you save and you heal. These are just blue towers that go bloop when you walk past them. You don't interact with them. It's just like any other fast travel system in any other game. If you walked up to them and it said, hey, do you want to save or teleport to any other crystal? And if it's a blue crystal, you can only save, but if it's an orange crystal, then you can teleport. Then yeah, I would say they took it from 12, but these are just like any other fast travel system of any other game like this.
You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn a wicked purple when you boil them up. Hence the name. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer. When there was a war on, that sort of thing. Thankfully, times aren't yet as hard as that. And even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them these days.
Is that Wedge?
The scorpions still live nearby.
I dare say they do. 3 reeds would be your best.
Bro, you've killed hundreds of them.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
They got some tasty looking meats. Look at those meats. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can only
Stay sharp.
I can only say what I'm seeing at the moment. So maybe as we play more, I'll get more of the connections, but at the moment, I feel like there's retro Final Fantasy, and then there's modern Final Fantasy, And then this game is like hanging off the edge of the modern Final Fantasy, like trying to pull itself up. Like, yes, it fits in modern Final Fantasy, but it's almost in a whole nother section of its own. I think if they were to make Final Fantasy XVII another, I think I can fairly say that. If Final Fantasy XVII was another game just like this, where it was like an action game, I think I would call it a third section. Honestly, I would. I think it would be Retro Final Fantasy, Modern Final Fantasy, DMC Final Fantasy, or whatever. New Postmodern Final Fantasy, whatever. I think it would be a third grouping. Because I find it very hard to group this with 12, 13, 10 if you want to include 10. 10, 12, 13, like, it's just not enough like those games. It doesn't have class systems, it doesn't have your normal elements you would expect from those games. Espers may cry.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
Yeah, I think so too. I always get a different answer when I ask when does modern Final Fantasy start. Some people would say 13. Others would say 12, others would say 10. I think that, at least in terms of like Square Enix, I think it started with 10, to be honest. Because 9 felt like the ultimate finale of Retro Final Fantasy.
Enough.
Both to us that played it and also Square who made it. It feels like 9 was the final love letter to Retro Final Fantasy. And then 10, even though it's a turn-based RPG, was the start of something new. The start of this, I hate to use the word linear, but this more linear, story-driven, every character is already a class. I don't know, just it's different. It's like they started to turn more into movies, and that was more of just the way the industry was going, but still. Something about the jump between 9 and 10 just feels right. It feels like it's this new type of game, even though it's a turn-based, because a lot of people just look at 10 and go, oh, it's a turn-based, it's retro, but I think that it was the start of something different. It was the start of them, and you know, you have like the music is different, the feel of it is different, you have the songs with the lyrics, and it just felt more like a production and more of like a movie, you know? Just, it was a different way of telling the story. Voice acting as well, just in general, you know? And voice acting is a big change, by the way. Like, that's huge. I think that the jump between no voice acting and voice acting is such a huge jump that we don't always consider, but the difference in script writing when you have boxes of text versus you need a voice actor to say it is so different. You know, with boxes of text, there's so much more ability to kind of spell out lore and have each character have a big monologue all the time and have characters interact a lot more. And with dialogue, you get into this situation where it's like we can only have the voice actors say so much. And even though there is regular dialogue in 10 as well, but the story beats have to be a bit different. They have to be told a bit different. They have to be told a bit quicker, bit smarter. When a character gives a big speech, it has to be memorable and it has to fit the voice actor, and all these things like change when you bring in actual voice acting versus just having text. So that was a big jump too. That was a big change. So yeah, something about the jump between 9 and 10. And like I said, I think a big part of it is that 9 just felt like the ultimate finale to retro Final Fantasy. If they had ended the series at 9, it would have fit. If they had ended the series at 9 and Final Fantasy X was like Final Fantasy revamped, Final Fantasy, Super Final Fantasy, whatever, whatever you want to call it, it would have fit. It would have made sense. If they had not called Final Fantasy X Final Fantasy X and they had called it something else, if they had called it Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise, just some kind of like separate, or even just a completely new IP, but had some kind of subtitle with it, it would have fit. 9 was like the perfect send-off. It was the perfect love letter to all of retro Final Fantasy. It had the references, it had the characters, it had the music, it had the atmosphere, the plot, all of it fit so nicely into what retro Final Fantasy had become up to that point. In 7 and 8 had a feeling of we're moving on, we're going more into modern, where the plots are getting more modern, the story's getting more political, these more things that you see more in modern games, the big bombastic cutscenes and stuff. And 9 was a return to form, a return to this is like the finale of 1 through 6. So to me, that makes sense to like let 9 be the finale it was supposed to be. And let's say that 10 is the beginning of retro Final or modern Final Fantasy. Even though it's a PS2 game, and even though it's still a turn-based RPG, and even though I would love to call it a retro Final Fantasy because of how much I love 10, I think it's fair for me to say that modern Final Fantasy starts with 10. Now, a lot of people would say it starts with 13. 13 was the first HD game. It was the first one that kind of alienated the audience, which is a big one. A lot of people like to say 13 is the start of modern Final Fantasy because it alienated a lot of old fans. So it makes sense that that's kind of where it started. In 12, in a way, it was kind of a return to form too, with like its plot and its the fact that it's in Crystalville, what the heck, Ivalice. The fact that it's in Ivalice, also makes it feel like it just fits with the retro games, but not that any of those were in Ivalice, but Tactics was. So, but yeah, I could see the argument for 13 being the first modern also, but I think me personally, I think I like to kind of say it's 10. I think 10 fits. 13 makes sense too. And I could even see the argument for 11. But 13 really alienated audiences. It was the first one to truly go away from turn-based. 12 kind of did, but 13 was the one that really felt like, okay, we're completely trying something new. It was very linear. It was very, and again, it was the first HD game, so yeah, makes sense too if you wanted to say 13. But I think it's probably 10, 11, or 13. I can't really see an argument for 12. And I can't see an argument for 14. Because if you're going to say 14, then it might as well be 11, right? So, yeah, I can't really see an argument for 12 or 14. So I would say 10, 11, or 13 be the first modern. 10-2. See, whenever we have these conversations, I always pretend like 10-2 doesn't exist, and then you always bring it up. I'm trying to pretend like it doesn't exist. I'm trying to get this out of my head. I'm trying to delete it from my memory banks. Well, when did 10-2 come out? Did 10-2 come out? 10-2 came out like before 11, didn't it? 2003. No, it came out after 11. I don't know. Does it count? Because it's not a main line. I mean, it kind of is, but I don't think 10-2 counts. It's not. How could you make the argument for 10-2 but not 10? Like, how could it be 10-2 and not 10? They're both turn-based RPGs on the PS2. Like, what would be the argument? Just the fact that it's a sequel and the series shouldn't have sequels. So that was the start of modern Final Fantasy because it got a sequel. Yeah. Well, then I blame 10 then. 10 is the first modern Final Fantasy because it's the first one to get a sequel. I would still say 10 then in that instance. What happened to 13? A lot of people went to Comic-Con dressed as Lightning. And then they were like, get the boys on a sequel. We've been talking about that during our Let's Play of 13. Like, why did it get such a dedicated fan base that they had to make 2 sequels? And we're kind of exploring that throughout the Let's Play. Because I'm curious too. I've always been curious. Always been curious as to why 13 got 2 sequels. Because I knew that the 13 fan base was pretty large, but it always felt strange to me. I mean, to be fair, 12 got a sequel too. It was just on the DS. So in a way, you know, 10 got a sequel, 11 got DLCs, 12 got a sequel, but it was kind of a side game, and 13 got 2 sequels. So it's not exactly like out of the ordinary for it to get a sequel, but it also made a lot of people mad when it came out. So I thought like, oh, they're just gonna forget it happened and start working on 14. But then they made 2 sequels. So.
Did you find our mystery ingredient?
The people that like 13 really like 13. Put it that way.
I did indeed.
Marvelous. Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous, surely.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your unwanted violet.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I won't be long.
I'll just follow the book. Whatever. If we die, we die. Yeah, I'm not eating that.
I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss.
I hope this guy's like stuck in the bathroom later. We have to like bring him some medicine. You might go to the bathroom right now.
Odin's teeth. What an assault on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water.
Get the paramedics.
And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavors, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's Stew sits before everyone in the hideaway.
This guy's got the sauce.
Mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
He's got the sauce. Level up. I was waiting for that. We're like really close to leveling up this whole time. Defense by 30, great.
Well,
You still got it.
that was certainly not what I expected. I wonder what other supplies.
Level up by making gross food. This really is DoorDash Simulator.
Wouldn't be half as bad without all the bloody dust.
Why does Otto's signature look like just 0110? Lad from the yard ran up a basket of martels just this morning, sweet as honey and crisp as the morning breeze they were. I told myself I was only going to have one, but I reckon if no one else listens to old Otto, I don't have to either. You let Nigel and his lot know they've done a fine job. Was it time you'd catch none but Sid supping on these? What for their foul bite, but for him it never were about the flavor, but about what they represented, our ability to make it on our own. Look at us now, Sid would be proud. My lord Marquess, I ask once again for you to forgive my men for your welcome back to the Lazarus. Or Lazarus. But certainly you can understand that they were the last person any of us were expecting to see at our gates. It's okay, I killed them all. In the short time since our reunion, we have shown yourself to be self-same man I followed into Stillwind those many years ago. True bearer of your father's legacy. If only Sir Tyler, the Lord Commander, and all the others who were lost that night were still with us to see how bright your flame now burns. You and your cause, I hereby pledge the swords of the Guardians, and I am proud to stand alongside you once again. The Dalmex, that's what they're called, Dalmex. And the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other, fangs barred like slum curs, but neither wants to make the first move. It's almost as if they both realized what a stinking pile of chocobo crap they've stepped in. Okay. If I were a man to lay a wager, I'd put my copper on this conflict not playing out anytime soon. I shall keep you apprised. Thanks, Gav. My apples. I should be here, yeah. Should be here tomorrow. I will let you know on Discord if I suddenly change my mind, but the plan right now is to be here tomorrow in normal time. I might leave a bit early or something. Depends on when the cookout I'm supposed to go to starts. But yeah, I should be here.
Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just desserts?
Pillow talk. Berserker ring.
What?
Now that sounds like something unique. A rose is a rose.
All yours.
What else would it be?
Come again. I may have more for you.
Yeah, we just keep the Discord link here to try to cut down on spam. There's the music thing. Oh, fireworks are definitely legal, or at least legal. Cookout I'm going to won't have any though. Oh, I got this one too. Yeah, I don't remember. They just changed the law like last year, so I don't honestly remember what it is. It used to be you could buy them here but not shoot them off, which is kind of like what the heck's the point of that law? But yeah, it used to be you could buy them here, but not shoot them. I want to say they changed the law to be you can buy them here and you can shoot them like in certain areas, or the like shows and stuff have always been legal here, but in terms of like shooting them off in your backyard, there's always been like a hush hush law about it, like you can do it but don't go crazy kind of thing. The cops usually like just roll around on 4th of July, and if you shoot off like too many, they come in and just kind of say, hey, stop. That's pretty much been the way it is here forever, but I'm not exactly sure what they changed something last year, I remember. But yeah, usually people shoot off only a few in the like around here in like actual towns, but if you go down to the boonies, people shoot off crazy amounts of fireworks everywhere. Usually no one cares. I kind of like this one. Vladimir, they give it a 28 months. Thank you, man. And M3, they give it a 20 months as well. Thank you very, very much. If it's not an oversized sparkler, it's illegal. Yeah, no, we're very, like I said, if you shoot them off, the worst thing that's going to happen is the cops are going to show up and be like, hey, stop. That's pretty much it. But people should know better than to shoot them off, like, around here in, like, more busy towns, but people still do. It's annoying. I think I'm gonna stick with this one because I like it a lot.
Well, that was certainly...
Okay, I think we're ready to go. Unless there's a new hunt. Which you better believe I'm checking. Probably not, though. Yeah, the only thing that annoys me is when they shoot them off near my house at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Because we live in a populated town. We don't live in the middle of nowhere. But other than that, it's whatever. But yeah, it's been legal to buy them here for a long time. A lot of the biggest firework places are here, and a lot of people come from Pennsylvania. They come here to buy them and then take them back to Pennsylvania. And I think the same with Michigan. I'm not sure what the law is in Michigan, but a lot of people travel from the states around us to buy fireworks here and then go back to their state. Because like I said, it's been legal to sell them here for a long time. All right, Vivian, what do you got?
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Wow, burn.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
Vivian
The Iron
Pokemon.
Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the Orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies.
Ah, see, that makes a lot of sense now. Because before, when they said, like, the Iron Kingdom treats their dominants like monsters, I was kind of like, why? You know, are they just evil, or what? You know, what's the cause? But it's because they take the crystal as, like, this ancient godly power that, like, no one should touch. You know, like, it's off limits. So the fact that the dominants can just, like, control the power themselves without crystals, they think they're like monsters. Because it's like this holy thing that no one should have power over. So that makes a lot of sense.
Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drostanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
And how may I assist you?
Hold on, I got a fact check here.
Of course.
Anything change here? Wade was added. Pretty much it. Wealthy noble.
Here you are.
Okay, so so the question is, from the Knight of Flames, does it not give the exact date? I don't think it gives the exact date. But it looks like it's 866 or something. 866 or 867. And then Today is like... Well... See, this doesn't work because this is not a... It's not to scale. The gap between 860 and 873 and the gap between 873 and 878 is completely different, so... This does not help us in deciding if it was actually 20 years or not. We were going to test because doing the math, it said 13 years later in between the Night of Flames and like when we got control again, right? Here. And then it said 5 years in between the Sid event and now. So that should be 18 years. But when we talked to our uncle, he said 20. So we were trying to decide if he just rounded up or if there's 2 years missing somewhere.
Thus ends today's lesson.
But I think he just rounded up. He just can't math. I was just curious if we could actually figure it out from there, but they don't give you precise enough years.
It will be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill. When you told me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox, the man who made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward. And I know that I can do it. If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the Mother Crystal together. All while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud.
I didn't take Jill for the revenge type. Child Clive to adult Clive is 13 years, then Sid, death to Clive Sid is 5 years, then Uncle states 20 years, implying that you've played for another 2 years since taking control of Clive. There's no way, though. We haven't, like, done anything. Like, there hasn't even been any battles. The only event that happened was, like, Martha's thing. That couldn't have been 2 years. No way. Like, maybe if after this, they said, like, 2 years passed, but... Yeah, no way. And I guess we're going in. Stealth ship. Are we really gonna get in without them noticing? This is like the only way to their
Useful trick.
place.
Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's mother crystal.
Drake's breath.
That kind of looks like it came from the sky or something and landed there. Aliens.
Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
Oh man, just give me a huge battlefield that I just gotta go all the way through.
I always imagined when I came here it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I.
Doggo's ready to rock.
For 13 years,
Look at
this
him.
rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
What is this? Pirates of the Caribbean? I like this song. It's a little piratey. Kind of bothers me you don't get maps during these story segments. Like, I still want to see the map. Still want to see, like, where I'm going. I want to see this. One of Valestia's 5 remaining mother crystals located on the volcanic isle known as the Iron Blood is Bine Leolade. And the seas between Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom, though its occupation could historically be traced to the Duchy. Okay, it doesn't tell me anything about the... I wanted to see if they had any, like... They said, like, where it came from, how it got there, kind of thing. Arr, mateys. Time to fight more plants.
They're all Akashic.
The ether flood must have spread. It was never as bad as this before. And the only way past them is through them.
I wonder how strong Judgment Bolt is if I just blast somebody with it. Okay, pretty strong. Over here. I swear, every time I turn around, Torgal's killing something. Like, hitting the killing blow on something.
Was that an earthquake?
I thought...
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about.
Dude, I am so... Like, I have been so trained to just expect stupid Dark Souls nonsense. I walked up here and I saw like this going up the hill, but then like a turnaround so you can't see what's up there. And then I felt that earthquake and I was like 100% there's some Indiana Jones boulder coming at me that I have to dodge. Like, I thought for sure it was gonna be some stupid, like, boulder trap. I've been conditioned. Did I get them all? What the? Get away from the door. That's a big boy. Take that. Ow. Whee! Can I actually kill him with this? No! That's how little damage it does.
We'll enter the caves from there.
Yo, what's going on, Irish? Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I still don't see the electric move damage, but I can see the bar move. Reduces aerial blast cooldown. Isn't that the... That's the other... That's like the ultimate ability, I think. Yeah. What do I get for level in this? Increases bolts. I might do that. 7,800. I'm sure that's just a pile of sticks.
Ugh, look at this place. What a mess.
Wait.
It's turned.
Nothing a shelter for Zarya can't handle. Just like old times.
Worse breath.
Believe me, I mean to.
Surprised Torgal wasn't barking at it.
Foul.
Don't breathe it in.
Don't breed us. Ow.
Thank you.
Oh, get away, get away.
You're a fine hound.
Oh my. So now while I'm waiting for that attack to go off, I can do this. So I guess that's kind of nice. Hit the wrong button. I didn't want to use that. Oh my god, you see that damage? Well, now I don't have it for my... Oh. I blew it. Wait, can I not cancel this? I was hoping I could cancel that with a stagger, but... didn't. Alright, I'll get in the business next time.
Thanks, boy.
That don't look good. Woo!
Nice try. I still can't believe they can jump. Where these things have roots.
Uh-oh. Don't step in the goo. How is that not a perfect dodge? Yeah, this move you can't, like, get any staggers on. Won't cancel it. Ow.
I needed that. Too slow. Nice try.
Alright, now here comes the damage. Boom! Emotional damage. It would be even better to like wait to use it till I have the multiplier up a bit, but
Press on.
Yes.
I will say limit doesn't seem to increase the damage of your abilities that much. I think the constant heal and the combos are a bigger thing with the limit.